The US-Israel-Iran war has expanded. But this, what we are seeing and witnessing today, is a new theatre that should worry everybody. What's really happening is the visual that you see behind us. That certainly is going to explain how the theatre has shifted, and it has reached right at India's doorstep. Pranay Upadhyaya will explain to us exactly how dire the situation is and what does this operation by the United States of America really mean, Pranay.
Geeta, you may find this visual hazy, but this is the evidence shared by the US Department of War that they have sunk a warship of Iran through a submarine, and maybe like post Second World War. This is the first instance or first incident of US sinking any warship in a conflict through their submarine, and they have attacked, they have used the nuclear submarine to shoot down or to sink this INS Dana, the Iranian naval ship INS Dana. And let me show you the picture and why it is important even for us, because this INS Dana, this is a corvette, a naval ship, and this naval ship participated in the naval exercise or naval fleet review, international fleet review hosted by India, and they also participated in Milan exercise 2026. And
that's at Vizag, Visakhapatnam in India, and it was a friendly movement into Indian territory, and they were moving back, which means, Pranay, that the Americans were tracking the ship even as it was there for the international review.
Absolutely, they were not only tracking, and in fact, normally, international waters are concerned as like nobody's land. It's nobody's area. These are called global commons. They have shot down, they have sunk this ship in international waters, and let me show you on map that where exactly they have conducted this operation. This is so here. This ship participated off coast Visakhapatnam. So from here, after completion of Milan exercise 2026, the ship was going back to Iran, and it was somewhere near Gali.
Just off the Gaul coast. That's
and
where.
You can see how far it is from Kanyakumari. So
this is let's just make it very clear to our viewers. This might be international waters, but this is what India calls the Indian Ocean region, that
Absolutely.
it protects very, very fiercely. We have been looking at maritime security, and these waters are not waters that we would consider in any way.
Indian Ocean region, Geeta.
Absolutely.
This is the Indian Ocean region. We have a unique geographical location in this Indian Ocean region.
So it was going from it was going from here to here, right?
Yes, it is going. It is the ship was on its way back to
Bandar Abbas.
To Bandar Abbas, or maybe some other deployment. Iranian Navy might have worked out, but it was sunk by an attack submarine, a nuclear submarine of United States, lurking in the sea.
How? Pranay, how is it possible? We could go back to the map for our viewers. How is it really possible for America to be lurking in these waters unbeknownst, by the Indian administration, Indian forces, our satellites, our intelligences?
Not only that, Geeta.
Were they informed? How was this allowed? It might still be international waters. Still might be international waters.
Yeah, but international waters and such kind of movement, which are operational details. US may say that we are not obliged to share this information with anyone for that matter, because in Gurugram, near Delhi, we have an international fusion center for the Indian Ocean region, and there even United States has a liaison officer designated for the information sharing, for the better coordination, and we have many international naval representatives in Gurugram for the coordination of such information, such operations, because this Indian Ocean region is a global common route for majority of international trade, for energy trade, shipments, and many other things.
So Namal Rajapaksa, who is an opposition leader in Sri Lanka, has already reacted to it, expressing grave concerns, saying it has happened just off the coast of Gaul. Very serious that a foreign entity can come and sink a ship, a warship at that. I'll flip that question to you, Pranay. What if this was a Chinese submarine? How would the world
world
reacted
would have
to this.
reacted. In fact, these global powers or like the NATO countries would have been jumping, shouting. They must be
asking India to react.
Yeah, every country must have reacted. But since, what did Pete Hegseth say today? The U.S. Secretary of War, U.S. Defense Secretary came
back off.
Back off, and he said that this war or this conflict is unfair. This is never meant to be a fair play. So he said he's
actually saying it. He's saying it. So, it might be, but we are in it to what did he say? Pound.
Destruction, decimation.
I mean, that's the language.
So the kind of language he used, it was clearly a strong language, and in as many words he said that we are going to achieve our objective, and our objective is to dismantle and dethrone and decimate the Iranian regime. Since Geeta, you went there, what do you think? Will Iran be able to put up a fight? How long they can sustain?
See, Pranay, they would have been able to sustain, and they're sustaining. They still are. They still are pounding. These guys still have not been able to completely decimate all their mobile launchers. Now, the war ends if Iran has the ballistic missiles but does not have launchers.
Yes.
So the targets are launchers, but the fact that they're still launching missiles means that Americans have not gotten to all the launches.
All the launches. But if you see the last 100 hours, because this conflict has already crossed 100 hours, we are almost like 107 hours. And if you see, how did this operation move? And this is the timeline of this operation. So, initiator of this operation, Israel put out in media, they were the first one to announce that we have carried out preemptive strike. But if you see the timeline issued by the US Central Command and issued by the US Secretary of War, it says the US missile strike targets on 28th of February at 2 a.m. local time, Eastern Standard Time, and thereafter it was followed, after that on 1st of March by the air superiority along the Iranian coast into Iran. So
and you can see,
and thereafter, so like Israel and United States, they coordinated this operation. Thereafter, the air superiority along the Iranian coast into Iran, and then thereafter, so Israeli air superiority over Tehran was established.
So it was
at around
American
11.
air superiority, then Israeli air superiority, then US bombers pulsing, then Iranian warships are not.
Thing.
Yeah, please.
Geeta, this is very important thing, and let us show our viewers on the map that what exactly we are trying to refer. Everyone is talking about this Gulf,
Strait of
Hormuz, this bend you see on the map. This is actually connector between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. And this is a narrow band.
And a lot of the oil through the GCC states flow through here.
30% of global oil supply goes through this route.
And if you add this part, which is controlled by the Houthis over here in Yemen, then it's just about almost all of the OIC
You can
oil.
actually call it as the two jugular veins.
And the peninsula is controlled by Iran. This Strait of Hormuz and Bab al-Mandab.
These two routes, because either the Suez Canal route.
But this has Houthis over here.
Yes.
So they're not allowing anything to pass.
Yeah.
And you have Iran over there.
Red Sea. Yeah.
And this is Bab al-Mandab Strait.
So in this region, as per Americans, they are claiming that currently they have already sunk almost 20 naval ships of Iran. They have
off the coast of Bandar Abbas. Here.
No, this is Bandar Abbas. Yeah.
The port,
so
right?
Sorry. So
that's Chabahar.
Yeah, Chabahar, Bandar Abbas. These are the important naval ports of Iran. Here is Bandar Abbas. You have, and here you have Chabahar.
Yeah.
So here you have Chabahar. So on first day, they targeted one ship at Chabahar. They already sunk on the first day. They sank one ship of Iranian Navy in Chabahar. After that, now the Americans are claiming that they have already sunk almost 20 ships and one submarine of Iran. Iran has a submarine fleet, and as per Americans, they have full control. Whatever claims Iranians must be making, or they might have made, that now they have put up a blockade at the Hormuz Strait. But as per the Americans, the Pentagon press release, this map says that no Iranian warships in Arabian Gulf Strait of Hormuz and Gulf of Oman. So they have almost cleared this entire region, entire route of any Iranian naval presence.
And I suppose the one warship that they were monitoring, which was headed back, has also been taken down. So no warships, the launchers are being attacked. There are about 2,500 sites they're saying that exist in Iran, and they're going to get them all. As long as it takes, is what the Israelis are saying.
Geeta, if you see this map, these red dots, what you see, these are the air defense systems of Iran. So they have knocked out all these air defense systems, and these yellow and red spots you see, these are the
which is why now it is open space. They are going in and coming out as though it's just free territory. It's international territory right now.
They're completely dominating the airspace of Iran. But if you see the Iranian strike capability, Iran has hit as far as Cyprus. This is the another end. So if you see the distance, this is over 2,000 kilometers distance. So Iranians, and these red, these signs, these indicators are of the Iranian strike on the GCC country territories. So in Kuwait, in Riyadh, in Bahrain, in Dubai, in UAE. So these are the places where Iranians have hit. But definitely it is an asymmetric war.
It is.
Because, the Iranian military might, and Iran is quite broken, quite shaken. After the prolonged sanction period, they could not get, the weaponry. But
I'm still trying to figure out where is the China-Russia piece in all of this, because losing Iran would be strategically losing the entire region for China and for Russia. So it's a very interesting piece.
But if you see the topography, if you see the geography of
Iran is connected with a rail link into China through Turkmenistan.
Through Turkmenistan, but it has to go through Uzbekistan, it has to go through Kazakhstan, and then you go to, or rather this route to China. So it has to cross through the entire Central Asian territory.
But they have it. They have the rail line.
It has to pass through Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, then Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, and then it enters Iran. Yeah. This rail link, will they be using this rail link to replenish, to send military aid? Will these countries allow Chinese to send the military cargo for helping Iran? That remains a bigger question. This is not the case what we have seen in the case of Russia-Ukraine war, where the Western nations could send
everything through the rail,
through this Lviv border. You and I, we got out of this country through Lviv.
Everything would come into Poland and then just be sent through.
Still, in fact, President Zelensky.
Because they were not sending it in time.
Exactly. But they are.
Which is what I'm asking: will China send it in time or not? Will Russia help in time or not? And will India react to what has happened? Because if today it is Iran, tomorrow America does not like the face of India, Sri Lanka, or any of the states in the region, this could very well. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
It's like you're thinking loud.
I'm thinking aloud, because if this were China, the reaction would have been massive and critical.
Definitely.
It's America, that's why it's muted. But then the question still remains: how can you come into these waters and do what you did?
But Geeta, question also arises about the solidarity of the Muslim Brotherhood, the Islamic countries, all these countries, those who have initially condemned. And now no one is standing to express solidarity. And I think, if I may say so, I think they have already
taken aside,
or rather they have already
but they're
given
still,
a bye-bye to the Iranian.
But they've also come together, but they've not started attacking, because the entire question is that it would be an Israel win. How many people would want a very strong Netanyahu, as opposed to maybe weaker Iran? But not an Iran under the control of Iran, is US and Israel.
I take your point.
That's a very important question.
I take your point, Geeta. But if you see that how many of these Arab states, they have signed the Abrahamic Accord, they have normalized their relation with the state of Israel.
Very few, and most of them are now distancing. Like Saudi Arabia was going to, but after what happened in Gaza, they have completely moved away.
But now we have to see.
And Khamenei's killing changes everything, even in the Sunni world.
This is going to be a very defining moment in the history, because this will be another change, the regional change. 1979 Islamic Revolution of Iran was a turning point for the regional, for the entire Middle East, and this regime change is going to be another.
We don't know if there's going to be a regime change.
We can't say.
But whatever happens over here, Pranay, it's going to have a last. This is history in the making. This is going to have a lasting impact, not just in the region, but it is going to have a global impact. Who's going to stay for how long, and who's willing to bear the economic cost of a prolonged war? Is this America's or Trump's WMD moment, where he went into a country saying they have nuclear weapons or enriched uranium to make nuclear weapons, and then lo and behold they find out that doesn't exist? We'll have to wait.
Yeah, but Geeta, if you see this territory has given tough time to United States. Afghanistan, it took 20 years for United States to get out of Afghanistan.
Iraq.
They are still engaged there, and they are still
Syria.
Syria as well.
Libya.
All these,
they're a little lower, but yeah.
So this entire West Asian region, especially the upper, the northern part of the Western Asian region, this has given tough time to United States. So
and Iran is not, and also Iran is not a country you can control. So even if you do this,
state,
even if you do this, now if you're hurting people, will they turn against America? Will they turn against Israel?
Over 90
million
million
have to
people.
wait and see. This is up in the air. But we here at India Today Global will continue monitoring this space. You keep watching this space for all the latest development, analysis, and all the breaking news. Thank you for watching.